Hello. Hi everyone, what's going on? Welcome to hashtag TNT JoeFi Tech News that Jerome Ortega finds interesting. I am your host, Jerome Ortega. Today is Wednesday, October 21st. Oh shit. I think I'm supposed to return something by the 21st to Amazon. I should probably do that after the show. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I didn't get my coffee today because I've been just working all day, and I'm ready to sleep. But we'll get through this show. How's everyone doing? Welcome. I wasn't gonna miss it. Wanted to make sure that we go over stories, we talk tech, we see what's going on. iPhone, Pixel. That's all we got. There's other stuff, but iPhone and Pixels are usually what I'm trying to get to talk about. So Manuel was in here first. What's up, Jerome? What's up, Manuel? How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Sam Ayub is in here as well. What's up, Jerome? What's up, Sam? What's going on, guys? Big Ben 2493. Hello. Hope all is well, Jerome. I'm doing well, Ben. Big Ben. How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Pratyush is in here as well. Hi, guys. What's going on, Pratyush? Did you change your avatar? I don't remember seeing that one before. Pratyush, how's it going? Welcome. Tectonic is in here as well. Hi. What's going on, Tectonic? Welcome. The Woo. What's up, bro, Montana? Woo! Woo it back. There you go. There's your woo. Big Ben says chillin', can't complain, except we can about those wonderful Pixel 5 speakers. How many more days until I get my Pixel 5? 9 days. Maybe 9 days, maybe 10 days. I'm supposed to get mine on October 30th or October 31st. Hopefully not the 31st, because I have plans on Halloween. I don't want to be messing with it on the 31st. Apostle T, Wacky Wednesday. Is it? Is that what it is today? Is today Wacky Wednesday? Today is shit. I forgot I have to return shit to Amazon, and I got to walk to the UPS store, which is like a mile away. It's fine. Sean, what up, Jerome? What up, Sean? How's it going, man? Probably you said, Jerome, did your iPhone camera comparison? Oh, yeah, of Mr. Who's the Boss. Actually, that's the entire reason I have that today, because yes, I have that queued up for today. So yes, we're gonna go over that today. Robert, I'm on time. Holy crap! What's going on, Robert? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. The Woo says Jerome Live Gap Edition. This? Oh, I didn't put my collar down. I'm sorry. That looks a little. Okay, there we go. Gap Edition. Sam says, what's wrong with the Pixel 5 hardware? Really, Sam? Really? I don't know if you're being serious or you're kidding. Okay. Igor is in here. Hey, Jerome, with the Nexus emoji and the other Android emoji. Arco Sinus's opinion. Hi, Jerome. Tired but happy, huh? Tired, happy, yes. Tired, yes. Have been working for buying a new iPhone. You guys don't even understand. I've literally been working like 14 to 16-hour days, like almost 7 days a week. I can't even clip videos for this channel. I just do the live stream because I just haven't had time. I was up early this morning doing my day job. I didn't even work out today because I've I've had deadlines. Anyway, you guys don't want to hear that shit. So Chris says Pixel 5 to be the best phone of 2020. You think so? We'll see. We'll see. Team Variety walking to pick up my wife from work, and it's cold AF in the Manchester wind. Hey, Jerome and everyone, stay warm, Team Variety. I know how that feeling goes. I need to buy a winter jacket, actually. I don't have one yet. I got to get one. Falling Wickets, same. 8T isn't a big upgrade on the 4XL. I could see that. At least in the camera department, for sure. Brian. Wait, my thing froze. Why was it lagging? What up, everyone? What up, Brian? What's going on? William Maya's in here as well. What up? What up? Ryu Eugene. By the way, there's a new music video with the Pixel 4 in it. Oh. Well, I search BB Rexa. I mean, it doesn't. Whoa. To be honest with you, I don't really care. I do remember though, when was it a Pixel or a Nexus? I think it was a Pixel. When I was watching Mr. Robot, I was like, what? Are they really doing that? Anyway, William, welcome. Ryu, welcome. Gandek, I missed the one stream yesterday when you were not wearing it. Is it that important that you had to be on when I didn't have my hat on? Welcome, Gandek. How's it going, man? The Pixel 5 speakers. Yeah, I mean, we won't know for sure. I mean, I don't know for sure how bad or good or whatever. I'm just waiting to get it to really give my opinion on it. Starting some shit. The Pixel 5 gap issue seems to be that big battery they squeezed in the 5 that should have been put in the 4A 5G. But the magical unicorn for now appears untouched. For now. Starting, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Sup, Jerome? What's going on, Nick? How's it going, man? 70 in New York? Really? Well, you guys are lucky, aren't you? Today it's like 56 is what my Chromecast is telling me. 56. William says, finally impressed by a Pixel's battery life. iPhone 12's battery life seems to be meh. Yeah, we're actually going to talk about that as well today. Apostle says the Pixel 5 will be the sleeper. Best mid-range of 2020. Maybe. If you can get it for less than $700, I think. Lethal Emperor, 80 degrees in North Carolina. I've never been to North Carolina. I've been to New York. I've been to California. I've lived in California. I've been to a lot of states. Never North Carolina. Never. Jason, yo, your phone and fam. What's going on, Jason? I like your new avatar. Slick. Lou, 247. What up, Slim? What up, Lou? What's going on, man? Welcome. Starting says they need to put a sticker on the Pixel 5 saying, mind the gap. Robert says that's what it was. I couldn't figure out what was different yesterday. It was the no hat. Yeah, a lot of people were. It seems like every time I'm on the stream and I don't wear a hat, you guys, it's like a special treat or something. I don't get it. Imagine if OnePlus made the Pixel phones. Yeah, we've talked about this many a times. 74 degrees in LA, finally. What, has it been cold or has it been too hot? I'm assuming too hot. Javi Martinez. Javi, what's going on, man? I'm still getting the Pixel 5 no matter what. Yes, me too. Just hoping that my Pixel 5 doesn't have that gap. And if it does, we'll send it back until I get one with no gap. Die hard Team Pixel. There you go. Javi, welcome, man. Ryu says, to be honest, the iPhone 12 is a better buy. I mean, that's how I've been feeling for some time. Although watching those iPhone 12 videos yesterday, I wasn't as impressed as I initially was. I mean, that could change. I don't have any of these phones in my hand yet, so we'll see. Big Ben says, between the speakers and the gap issues between the screen and the frame on the Pixel 5, hopefully the 4A 5G will be made better. So we're actually going to talk about this too. Because somebody tweeted me today about the Pixel 4A. I just noticed it real quick before I started the stream, but we're going to talk about that in a second. Nick says, did you check out the Vergecast podcast with Android Police and Android Chat? lot of great discussion there about the Pixel 5 and the Pixel direction. No, Nick, if you're not aware, again, I'm just I don't really watch or listen to a lot of other tech stuff. It's just me and my opinions from what I read on articles and like what you guys talk about. That's about it. But yeah, I see you're saying here, big takeaway is the haptics are worse. That I'm going to actually have to test. So my 4A haptics, I think, are fine. I think they're good even. I didn't really even notice a big difference between the haptics on my 4A and then the haptics on my 4, but I'll have to take a second and take a look at that. Carry the 3 Pixel to take wide angle selfies. Use a Pixel 3 to take telephoto. Use a Pixel 4 to take ultra wide angle. Use a Pixel 5. Blank. Mind the Gap is a UK thing for the tube. I didn't know that. I had no idea. Robert says, bring back the Nexus 6P with an 865. I'll be happy. That would be cool. I'd love to see that. Fear the Roo says, I've missed the last 2 streams, but I was busy ordering my refurbished iPhone 11 128 gigs for $529 in yellow. Ooh, yellow. I forgot what the yellow looks like. Thoughts? I forget what the normal price is for the iPhone 11, but at 128 gigs, at least you got the one that has more storage. I'm assuming it's a good deal. It sounds like a good deal, at least from comparing it to my $1,000 11 Pro with 64 gigs. Sounds like a good deal to me. You're going to get a great camera, great performance, great battery as well. But no 5G. What are you going to do without 5G? How are you going to live without 5G? Reuven, come on, people. The 5 best phones of all time. Think about it. Pixel, and Pixel, because it spits hot fire. Dylan. What up, Jerome /fam? What up, Ruben? How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. $5 super chat from Bert Kuhn. Thank you, Bert. Bert, you have literally been keeping the channel alive. The last week or week and a half, YouTube has decided to demonetize all my videos, all my live streams, to the point where I'm just like, well, is this even worth it? They've been demonetizing all my shit. So Bert, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for helping offset costs. iPhone 11, excellent hardware, good overall camera, okay battery, best long-term performance, Pixel 5, best camera and battery, but not sure for the next 2 to 3 years. Well said. Well said. That okay battery for the iPhone 12 is weird to me, but we're going to talk about that today as well. We're going to talk about that. Okay, where am I at here? I gotta scroll down a little bit. Deepak, hello. What's going on, Deepak? Welcome to the stream. William Maya says, oh, snap. Love the making the band reference. Yeah, that's right. I gotta throw this mic up a little bit. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. I think maybe too high. Okay, there we go. All right. Nope. Bert, thank you again. Fear the Roo says, glad I had my son prior to 5G or with my phone without 5G, it would have never happened. Exactly. 5G is the future of the iPhone. Exactly. Okay. So before we start, Ernie tweeted me and said, hashtag or at phone Jerome, bro, is your 4A doing this? Mine is on the top right by the power button. So he sent me this link on Reddit, and it was talking about that his Pixel has a squeaky spot on the back. If you press it on a certain corner, it's squeaking. And so obviously that's the first thing I did is I started squeezing every corner. Fortunately for me, I don't have that squeak on my 4A. So thank God it's not a thing for me. Ernie said it is for him. He said mine is on the top right. Anybody else who has a 4A? Apparently, if you squeeze here or here or here or here, it either gets squeaky or creaky, and I don't have that, which I'm thankful for. I didn't realize that was an issue or people are having that issue, whether or not how small that is. Hopefully you don't if you have one. So, but we're going to circle back to the 4A in a little bit. I don't know how bad that squeaking issue is. If I had it, yeah, I would start to get neurotic over it, and it would start to bug me because I'd probably be squeezing it all the time. That's what she said. Where am I at here? Right, says, why should you buy an iPhone? It has 5G. Why is 5G important? Because it's 5G and we're Apple, so it's an improved 5G. 5G, 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 5G. Exactly. Deepak says iPhones are really good if you're keeping your phone for 4 to 5 years. I agree. Pixels get 3-year updates. Not at all bad. There you go. Piotr. What's going on, Piotr? Haven't seen you in a minute, in a second. Hello, Jerome. Compared the 5 with the 11 and reckon the 5 takes better, more consistent picks. How do you rate your 11 Pro picks versus the 4A? So my 11 Pro is pretty consistent. My 11 Pro is pretty consistent. I can almost guarantee that almost any shot I take with 11 Pro is going to turn out fairly well, except if it's in like direct sunlight. Then I have lens flare issues. With my 4A, I've been pretty happy with the results too. It's been pretty consistent, and I've been shooting pictures with my 4A almost not daily, but at least every other day. Although today I didn't have a chance because I've been super busy. But I mean, I haven't taken enough night shots on my 4A, but I can only imagine that the results on that would be very similar to my 4, which even though they're going to be excellent shots, I still think the 11 Pro will have the better shots at night. During the day, I feel like they're both pretty consistent. Although on my 4, if I remember correctly, I think I did prefer my 4 shots over the 11 Pro, even though they were pretty similar. I really should just do a camera test and then do it live on stream and go through that. But maybe one of these days when I'm not so goddamn busy. Chris says, Piotr, welcome, by the way. Will we see technology like MagSafe on the next Pixel? Will had a really good point about this. And Will was like, yeah, MagSafe is just like putting a Qi charger in the phone. That's what they should do, is just put the Qi charger in the phone. Will we? I don't know. I have no idea. It's nice to have. It looks pretty clever. I guess I'd have to like really use it to see. Yeah. Maybe, Chris. Maybe. All right, where am I at here? Yeah, William says my Pixel 4a has that issue as well on the camera bump corner. Team Verizon says, Jerome, my 4a has some creaking below the camera on the back when pressing it. I'm used to it though, as I've had it on the 3DS and Switch, the creaking. So for you guys, it's not a deal breaker. Doesn't sound like it is. Igor says my Lumia 950 had a squeaky corner, best phone I ever had. There you go. So whenever Ernie jumps in here, maybe I should clip this video. Like, Ernie, it's all good, man. Don't worry about the squeak. William says the squeaking only happens if you mean to press that area. It's not a typical spot to hold. Heard it and was like, then quickly moved on. There you go. Baron of Gray Matter, howdy campers. What's going on? Baron of Gray Matter, aka Ed. How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Piotr says, problem with the Pixel line is most of the buyers are tech nerds, and we do nitpick as hell. We do. We really do. Almost sent my 6P back after Jerry. Yeah. I remember when that video first came out, and that was back when I was actually watching other YouTubers, tech YouTubers, and I saw him do that. And I'm like, who's bending their 6P? I mean, that's why I still have my 6P, and it still works fine. And it's done a great job. And I've treated it with no case. I did put a skin on it, a D brand for a little bit, but other than that, it's been naked, and it's gone through some rough times, and that phone's still pretty solid to this day. Okay. Team Verizon says, Jerome, I should DM you my 4A, lots of pictures of trees and shit. Yeah, sure. Why not? My 4A photo samples. I mean, feel free. I mean, again, like I have a ton of 4A pictures on my Instagram, but if you're just wanting to share it with me, feel free to share it. Feel free to share it. Gandex says, yeah, the 11 Pro has lens flare because of how the cameras are aligned together on the back. DxO Mark mentioned it. Interesting. Yeah, it was something I brought up, and I remember pointing that out, and I remember reading the comments saying, oh, you're making that up. That's not real. You don't really have an iPhone 11 Pro. This is why I stopped reading comments, because I just feel like everybody is such, they get so butthurt when I speak the truth about a phone that they can't, for them to hear somebody speak bad about the phone that they bought. Like, how dare you? How dare you talk about my phone that way? It's like, please, guys, it's a phone. I'm not talking about your firstborn child, although sometimes it sounds like it. Okay. Brian says, I wish the magnets were stronger. Yeah, that's what what's his face said yesterday. MQQQQQQ. Yeah. Who says Google support is so full of shit. I chatted with them last night about the gap, and they said, never heard of it. It's just a rumor. Robert, my knee squeaks, but it's holding up pretty good. There you go. That's how you need to treat these things. Exactly. Mr. DPK. What's going on, Mr. DPK? I don't think I've seen you in here before. Pixel 4a gives crackling noise during calls when the speaker is on with full volume. Anyone else experience that? Anybody? I don't remember the last time I put my Pixel 4a on speakerphone, but yeah, if anybody can share, please give Mr. DPK some feedback. But welcome. Aiden, we're talking about Pixels, iPhones, Pixels. I was talking about the squeaky issue with the Pixel 4a. People are saying they're experiencing squeaking when you like go like this or like that. Luckily, I'm not hearing anything, so I guess I'm good on my end. Kareem Godoy. Am I saying that right? I would rather buy a 4A 5G plus a PS5 than an iPhone 12 Pro. Yeah, I gotcha. That makes sense. I mean, save some money, right? Check what your priorities are. iPhone 12 Pro isn't going to give you PS5 quality graphics. Team Verizon says Google plus hardware issues equals Nintendo plus Joy-Con drift. I've heard many things about that Joy-Con drift. Luckily, mine never had that. I don't have mine anymore, though. The Woo says, no hairdo today. Must have been spend time with cinema. It's been a busy day. The last thing I ever want to do is spend time with fixing my hair. Yesterday was a special day. Other days that I don't put a hat on is when I have my morning job and I got to take a Zoom call. That's usually when I don't put a hat on. It's also when I dress up a little more nicely. Big brain move. That's right, Chris. That's what that is. That's a big brain move right there from who said that? Kareem, for sure. Pratyush says, would anyone be pissed if Google removed the 4K 60 option? It's not even working like intended. So you're going to get complaints either way, Pratyush. You're going to get people saying, well, we should have left it because it still works for me. And then other people saying, well, the thing overheats, so what's the point? It's not a good look either way for Google. Yeah. Either way, it's not a good look. Mr. DPK says, Jerome, I'm regular. Haven't commented much, though. Oh, I didn't know, Mr. DPK. I'm sorry. Will do from now on. Hashtag remember the name. I'll try to remember the name. I'll try. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Also, real quick, if you guys haven't had a chance, please hit that thumbs up button. Google's demonetizing. YouTube's demonetizing my shit now. So I'm also like, people don't find, it's weird. I get really high numbers on these streams lately, but I don't get new subscribers. It looks like I'm not gaining I don't know. I'm so tired of YouTube and their bullshit at this point. I really am. I really am. Gboy888, what's going on, man? Welcome. Anyone still using the Pixel 4 or 4 XL as your primary phone? Not me. Almost a year of using it and it got better. There you go. So I end up liking it even more than when I bought it. That's great, man. That's great. I wish I was in that same category, but unfortunately, I'm not. I was about to say G-Boy again. Apostle T with a $5 super chat. Apostle, thank you, man. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you for the love. Thank you for showing some support. I do appreciate it. Thank you for helping offset costs. Guys, thank you so much for the super chats. It's always great to have you guys here. It's always great to have this show, this stream. It's always nice to see your support. I appreciate it, man. Brian also with the $1 super chat. Brian, supporting as always 99.999% of the time. Brian, thank you so much for the support. Even though Brian's been working a lot lately, he's always been here helping out, so I appreciate it, man. Apostle says, we got your back, Jerome. I appreciate that, Apostle. Thank you. All right, guys. Let's go ahead. Let's move on. I was going to talk about the 4A 5G versus the Pixel 4a, or the 4A versus the 4A 5G, but I want to at least kind of like switch things up since you've just been seeing this face all day. Let's switch things up real quick. Ruben, though, with a $2 super chat, hoping YouTube can give you a break. So YouTube has been giving me a break on my other channel. My other channel has been really taking off, and I've been spending quite a bit of time there. It's a lot of work, but it's a great community there as well, just like it is here. I'm just trying to balance that out while my day job, and then while trying to do my other day job. It's been very busy lately. But Ruben, thank you for the $2 super chat. Thank you for supporting, man. I appreciate it as always. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead. Let's switch into this video here from Mr. Who's the Boss. That says the iPhone 12 Pro versus the iPhone 12. Oh, I have the same tripod. Actually, I think I have the bigger one. That's what she said. Oh, that would be weird. Versus the iPhone 11 Pro. So I want to see how this camera comparison does. Let's talk about it. Let's see what's going on with it. And are we unmuted? We are. All right. Let's give it a go.
So just for a bit of context, I've been using the iPhone 11 Pro as my main phone for about 5 months now. And while I would say it's probably the most reliable camera I've ever used, whether you're taking photo or video, no matter which lens you're using, it looks good. I would also say that it's rarely amazing. There's been a lot of Android phones this year which have come out with massive image sensors. They've really pushed phone photography closer to DSLR photography. So I was kind of sat here hoping that iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 Pro would be when Apple followed suit.
So I agree and I disagree. So when they talk about not following suit, but when he talks about that it's not amazing, I don't know. My iPhone 11 Pro has been my favorite phone to use as far as the camera goes. I mean, the 11 Pro and my Pixel 4, 4a, they've both been very great quality, well-produced shot video, especially on the iPhone 11 Pro, which is why I've always leaned towards that more because of its video. I mean, to be fair, I haven't used an S20. I haven't used a OnePlus 8 Pro. I have this Huawei P40 Pro Plus that I spent $1,300 on. And yes, the telephoto on it is amazing, but even during my testing with shots at night or during the day, I still think my Pixel 4, my 4a, my iPhone 11 Pro turned out better, which is weird because I spent $1,300 on this phone and I still don't think the camera quality is or was as good. The video's not bad on it though. I use the video a lot to record myself eating. Yes, I record myself eating my meals once in a while, actually pretty often. Anyway, let's continue on. So, the other part that he was saying here is I think he was expecting the 12 to really exceed the quality on the, I hate when my lighting does this. I think he was hoping that the 12 or the 12 Pro was going to exceed expectations in terms of photo quality and video quality. And from at least what I've seen, it seems pretty underwhelming so far. We'll see what he has to say.
Ventured high and low. We took over 200 shots. We even tried
Oh,
filming a
sorry.
music video to properly compare these new iPhones to the old iPhones. Real quick, by the way, I have also launched a pretty big iPhone 12 giveaway.
I don't care about that.
But the shots on both iPhone 12s look better. Again here, my face is crisper, the menu in front of me more defined. Or here, everything from the texture of the floor to the details in the chandelier above me are better on the iPhone 12s. Why? Well, it's because of something called Deep Fusion. So every time you take a photo on one of these iPhone 12s,
I mean, I didn't pick it apart. I didn't sit there and like look through every photo, but honestly, all those photos look pretty good. It didn't seem like one was really sticking out more than the other.
it actually captures 9 different shots at various different exposures. It then
Sorry, I
goes through
keep
all of them
forgetting to
and
switch
takes the
back.
best parts of each of them and merges them. Now, the iPhone 11 Pro already supports
Tony.
Deep Fusion on its main and zoom cameras.
Hell yeah,
With the
that
iPhone
sounds
12, it's better,
that sounds like a
faster,
great idea,
and it works
actually.
on all cameras. And that also includes the front.
Yeah.
All 3 of these phones, again, have identical selfie cameras.
That one
And
too,
yet,
Chris.
the 12 and 12 Pro have like a whole extra layer of detail. Just look at my eyes or the fabric of
Look at your eyes. Well, this 11 Pro looks warmer, right? The 12 and the 12 Pro. I mean, you can even see this lighting. You can see the color temperature is cooler here than it is here. But I think I would need more zoom to really see the details. Because honestly, the details here on the 11 Pro still look pretty similar. It doesn't look like it's that much better, does it? Am I crazy? It doesn't really seem like it's that much better.
my coat here. There's more. If you take a look at the main camera on the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro, while Apple hasn't upgraded the sensor like I kind of hoped they would, they have given us a better lens to bring in more light. This is one of the new iPhone's headline features, and probably the best way of showing it is by going even darker. No, not that dark.
So this is probably where it's going to make more
When
sense.
the environment gets dark enough and you take a photo, it'll automatically spend 2 seconds or so taking a night mode shot. And historically, iPhones have had good, but I wouldn't say the best night mode out there. So Apple improved it.
So is he saying that night sight is better than night mode? This is probably where we would disagree. Because at least in my testing, the 11 Pro was better at night over the Pixel 4. I still stand by that until I do another one. If I really need to redo a test, I can do that and see.
But I gotta say the difference is not as noticeable as I was hoping it would be. Apple says the new phones capture 27% more light. And I could believe that. That seems about right in a best case scenario. There is less grain on photos.
All right, so less grain, less noise on photos. That's fair enough. I won't be able to really tell until like I'm able to like crop in and see, but even looking at these shots, they goddamn all look so similar. They really look so similar between each other.
Everything does look a bit brighter, but unless you get really dark, it's not the kind of difference you'd even notice without side by side.
Yeah, so okay, that's kind of what I was thinking. I would need to see something in like much lower light shots.
However, there are 4 situations in which the iPhone 12's cameras at night really pull ahead. Number 1 being the ultra-wide camera, because while iPhone...
Yeah, so again, for those that don't know, the 11 Pro is not capable of doing night mode while the new 12 and 12 Pro is. This actually looks even brighter. This looks like it's kind of brightening too much over here and over here. This one looks a little more manageable.
11 could only use night mode on the main camera. iPhone 12 can do it on all of them.
Yeah, so it's obvious here too. Like this isn't bad at all though. The 11 Pro still holds up well, but you can see it's a little softer here. I mean, this isn't the greatest either. That color temperature is different too. Look at how much more yellow this is compared to here.
You'd expect makes a world of difference. You've got more light, you've got better textures.
Yeah. Like this is really obvious. This is what I'm waiting for. These are the tests that I'm waiting to do.
More object definition. You've got the front cameras. For the same reason, iPhone 11 didn't have night mode here, iPhone 12 does. Then there's night mode time-lapse, where if you decide to shoot a time-lapse, the new iPhones can sort of automatically detect night and adjust how they're shooting on the fly.
I appreciate this video already because it's very similar to kind of how I do it. Like an actual like taking different kind of scenarios and seeing what works and what
to
doesn't.
bring in more light accordingly. And finally, nighttime portraits. But before I get to that, I should probably explain LiDAR. So, exclusively on the iPhone 12 Pro, you've probably seen that there's a new
I don't know if I
sensor
want to
in
listen
the
to
camera
LiDAR
module.
right now.
And what it does is fires out infrared waves to figure out how far objects are from
Okay.
you. And because we're talking about infrared here, this sensor works just as well in the night as it does during the day. So while most phones, they struggle to get an outline of a person and take a portrait mode shot as the light starts to dip, the iPhone 12 Pro doesn't struggle as much because it has that depth information. You'll notice a little bit of an improvement in mid to low lighting conditions.
So you'll see right here, the 12 doesn't look like the 11 Pro or the 12 Pro because there's no telephoto lens. That's all you get. But even looking at like this still looks a little off. I mean, obviously this is the brighter shot. The shadows are pulled up a little bit, but I mean, it's not bad. But this 11 Pro isn't bad at all, even without. And it's weird to compare these two because they're two different shots.
A bit of extra brightness. But if you go to super low light, I would say this might just be the use case that is the single most noticeable disparity between these three phones. iPhone 11 won't activate portrait mode at all. It's
Wow. Okay, so you can see a difference between the 12 and 12 Pro here. There is an obvious difference. And he's saying, yeah, there's no portrait mode. You don't see any like bokeh effect at all. But this 12, this just looks like it's soft overall. I mean, this still looks a little soft, but it's trying to do the portrait mode effect. At this point, it doesn't even seem like it's worthwhile using the portrait mode effect at all. Just take a regular goddamn shot at this point.
It's too dark, it doesn't even know what's what. iPhone 12 might activate portrait mode because it can see a little bit more thanks to the better lens.
Yeah, so you can see the bokeh effect. Here, it's not activating portrait mode at all.
But the iPhone 12 Pro is the only phone that can activate both portrait mode and night mode.
That's interesting, but at the same time, I look at a shot like this, like I get what he's saying. He's like, yeah, it can turn it on or not, but I guess if this is what your focus is, then it makes sense. But again, I've said this before. I want my dark shots to look dark. But he's making a point here, and I get that.
At the same time. So it ends up way ahead. Now, this is all good stuff. I'm really happy that Apple has kind of fixed a lot of the caveats that came with the iPhone 11's camera. Like, oh, you can shoot this, but not in this particular mode. There's none of that with the iPhone 12. However, I can't help but wonder why a lot of this stuff isn't available on the 11 Pro too. Things like ultra-wide night mode, Android phones have had for years. But okay, let's just forget about night mode for a second. Because
they need to give something that differentiates itself. I don't think Apple works the same way as Google, where Google's like, yeah, now we're going to give them to all the other Pixel phones. And then now we're going to give them to all the Android phones. Apple's like, no, we're not going to do that. I feel like they could have even given night mode on the iPhone SE, but they're not going to do that because they don't want to cannibalize. They want to separate what makes their higher tiered phones more expensive. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
let's face it, 85% of your photos are probably going to be during the daytime. So in these cases, is the iPhone 12 basically just the same as the iPhone 11? Not quite. So the other thing that iPhone 12 has running in the background at all times is the next generation of Apple's Smart HDR, an algorithm that's there to just try and improve photo quality. And I would say that it does do a slightly better job of looking at each element within a photo and being like, okay, we can make this part a little sharper and brighter, or okay, we can make this part a little softer. Admittedly, it is one of those features that's very easy to kind of roll your eyes at. But having compared it to the phone,
I mean, I kind of roll my eyes at it. For me, it's just like, let me just see what the end results are and I'll take a look. I mean, he talks about it and I get it, but I need him to point it out to me. Otherwise, I need to pixel peep and see really what the difference is when it comes to that. Because I think a lot of us who are watching this, we look at the 11 Pro and then we look at the 12 and the 12 Pro and we're like, it looks the same, except for some obvious differences at night. Again, when I get the phone, I'll do some thorough testing and then we'll go over it together. We'll do this shit live. I'll get it all prepped and ready to go. I get my phone on Friday, so it's not too much longer. I'll do the testing over the weekend and then we'll do a live stream on Monday where I do an actual camera comparison live.
Phone that came before, and also some phones that came much earlier. It is a feature that makes almost every part of almost every photo you take ever so slightly better. So for example, in this shot, take a look at the brickwork on the left or the leaves on the far right. Can you see that everything on the 12s is just a little bit better exposed? And
a little bit better exposed. So this is a little brighter. This is a little brighter than this. Honestly, when you ask me, I like this a little more dark and contrasty. I see this here. This looks like it's starting to get pushed up too much, but that's me. I do see a little more separation in the clouds, and this is where people can start talking about dynamic range, blah, blah, blah. I'm a professional photographer. Listen to me because I say the word dynamic range. I don't know what it is with dynamic range, but every time I hear someone say dynamic range, I don't know why it upsets me because it's just, I feel like most people who are watching don't really get how that term works. And then you're just confused. And anyway, I don't know. This also looks like there's a bit more contrast. Like there's a bit more like sharpening throughout the photo. There is nothing wrong with this 11 Pro shot. I don't know if it's a little bit better. To me, it just looks like a brighter shot overall. That's what it looks like to me.
A little crisper. Or faces. It seems like these new phones can identify faces and just kind of lighten them up a little bit, especially if you've got a really bright back.
Is it though? Is there much of a difference here and here or here and here? I guess it would be one of those things where I'd need to zoom in and just like really look into it. Because the one thing that I've noticed, at least so far, is you'll get a little more of a warmer tone on the 11 Pro, and then they scale that back on the 12 Pro. Here, this doesn't look as much, but in the earlier shots that we've seen, it is a lot more yellow, orangish, and you see more like a natural kind of look on the skin tone.
Background behind you. The clouds are softer and less grainy looking, and often a little better exposed too. Smart HDR is active on every camera, so even when you're taking selfies, faces are a little brighter, clouds a little cleaner. But you're probably noticing that I'm using the word little quite a lot. And that's because while the iPhone 12 is better than the iPhone 11, for sure, a lot of these improvements are so subtle that you have to look for them. The iPhone 12 camera is what I would call an aggregation of micro refinements.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it's a great point. It's a great point in terms of like the little subtle differences. This aggregation of micro refinements, I don't know. Why don't you add dynamic range in there, buddy?
Another example of this is because of that LiDAR scanner and this sort of understanding of what's foreground and what's background. I'm finding that iPhone 12 Pro's portrait mode is more confident. It really defines the edges of your subject.
Is he going to pinpoint that, or am I going to have to like find that out myself? Because I don't think I'm getting that here. Like, yes, this is a brighter shot. But I like, even when I see this, it doesn't make me say that this is the better shot overall. Like, yeah, the shadows are lifted a bit, so you see a little more. Like he looks, the skin is brighter, but I don't.
The jumper you're wearing.
I can't even use this goddamn 12 here because this is just annoying me to see this. It's hard for me to compare when the range is different. Yes, again, for people who don't know, the 12 doesn't have telephoto, so it's not doing it the right way.
Even your hair, better than past generations. The person almost looks like they're jumping out at you a bit more. LiDAR also helps with focusing. It's
really? I don't know about that.
Camera, so the camera knows what distance to set its focus to a little faster. Oh, and while we're here, side note, you'll probably have noticed that both Pro phones, they zoom in when taking portraits. That's just because they can, really. They both have 2x telephoto cameras, whereas the standard iPhone 12 doesn't. I definitely prefer the way the Pro phones do it. Also, the fact that they have telephoto cameras means that just generally when you're zooming into things on these Pros, you can get to at least 5 times before the image starts breaking down. Now, actually one of the biggest features of these new iPhone 12s, one thing I wouldn't call a micro refinement, is what happens to video. There's actually two things, one of them kind of minor, one of them kind of amazing. So the first thing is improved optical image stabilization. So normally when you move your phone
Okay,
one way, the
can I
camera
just see the
lens actually
samples,
slightly moves
sir?
the other way. I'm sure there is a difference. I'm sure there are situations where it's more noticeable than others, but just generally walking around, I can't. I even tried running while recording on all 3 phones, squinting at my monitor trying to discern something. I couldn't, but let me know if you can. Now, what I do think is really
They honestly look
I
so
couldn't, but
similar.
monitor trying to discern something.
Like the one thing that Ed, adjust your Baron a Gray Matter with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys coming in here, chatting with me, going over this. I see Munchie in here as well. Munchie, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. He just wants to prove the iPhone 12 is better. Like, the hard part about this is I've been sitting here talking for days about getting the iPhone 12 Pro Max to really see what it's all about. But I see this and I'm just like, I mean, maybe the night shots are the ones that are going to like tell me it's worth it. But I think for a lot of people, I don't know if spending $1,000 is the right move here. Maybe if you need the best camera, maybe if you need the super, it's just the improvement is so minimal, it seems, that it's hard to spend that money. You can just let me spend the money and be the idiot to test it out. Because even when I'm looking at video stabilization between these three, I'm not noticing much of a difference, at least not yet.
I couldn't, but let me know if you can. Now, what I do think is really cool is that iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 Pro are the first phones in the world to be able to record, edit, and share in Dolby Vision HDR. Sort of. And that is not an easy thing to do. Your phone has to basically record.
Yeah, we're not gonna go through Dolby. If you want like a tutorial on Dolby Vision HDR, whatever words they want to use, this is not the channel for it. I'm not going to be able to help you out there. It's still something that, like, if it's not fully capable and you can't fully implement it everywhere, then I'm not too worried about it. Is there anything else here? I still wanted to see more stabilization tests.
It looks exactly as you'd expect it to. I gotta say, I have found this HDR content giving me some compatibility trouble.
Yeah, so this is also what I mean. It's just I don't need that in my life right now.
Extra RAM. Oh yeah, and low light video is better too. Dolby Vision, combined with a better lens and an improved image signal processor in the new chip, means that if you really did want to film that music video, iPhone 12 will probably do it better than iPhone 11. Alright, I feel like this all leads us to a very... iPhone 12 will probably do it better than...
iPhone 12 will probably do it better than iPhone 11. When we're sitting here watching this, I honestly cannot say for sure that the 12 Pro is completely demolishing the 11 Pro, or the 12 is completely demolishing the 11 Pro, or that the 12 Pro is completely demolishing the 12. They all look very similar. And this is not, here's the thing, it's not a bad thing because they're excellent phones with an excellent camera. I think I was really expecting a lot more with the 12 and the 12 Pro because of how much they pretty much hyped it during the event. 27% more light, 87% more light, 265,000% more light. Oh, and did I forget 5G, 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 23% more light. When I watch this, I don't really see that much of a difference.
It's better too. Dolby Vision, combined with a better lens and an improved image signal processor in the new chip, means that if you really did want to film that music video...
Also looks very corny. I'll need to test it myself. to really see. Are there any other video shots I'm seeing here, or is that about it? Yeah. There you go. Thoughts, guys? How do you feel? Anything? Does it move you in any way? Does it convince you to buy the 12 Pro? Does it convince you to maybe just buy the 12? Does it convince you to just stick with 11 Pro? Or are you going to pull a Jerome and still put your money on the Pixel 5 or the 4A 5G? Okay, where am I at here? Manuel says, big brain move. Wait for the iPhone 13. I really want to make those shirts now. Big brain move. I like it. I like it. Munchie says, buy the Pixel 4A. He just wants to justify the 12. I think a lot of people, and I've said this before, a lot of people who spend $1,000 on a phone, they don't want people to talk shit about it because they want to justify their purchase. I've said this before. It's like when you buy a new car. If you bought a new car, you drive it home, your neighbor sees that car and goes right up to you and says, why'd you buy that car? That's such a piece of shit. You gotta be kidding me if you don't think you're not gonna be offended by it. Anyway, let me scroll up here. Just let me go through some of the chat. Deepak says the 11 Pro had a more pixel look. That contrast I like a lot. I'm the same way. I'm exactly the same way. Prevo, what's going on, Prevo? Legit could be all software on Apple's end doing the same as Pixel with hardware, and that could be a fact as well. Very true. Very true. Smart HDR or smart marketing? Well said. Shreyas, am I saying that right? Shreyas Shukla? I can't find any difference. It was pretty difficult to find a difference. JVidya. Hi, Jerome. Cheers. What's going on, JVidya? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Where am I at? Gboy888 says pics are quote unquote brighter and cleaner by a little, but your bank account will be smaller. Yeah. So a little, it's that term. How is that term pronounced? Diminishing rate of return, right? The more money you spend, you're only getting a tiny bit more performance or improvement. And at that point, is it worth it? Is that value worth it to you? In this case, just let Jerome do the idiot testing, and then you can decide from there. Make a big brain move. Now I'm going to say it like it's my thing. Well, I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, Munchie also says 5G is not mature enough to spend $1,000. Yes, we've talked about this so many times. 5G is just, yeah, it's not the time for any of this. This screams big brain move required. Oh, I like that too. I closed the video where Jerome didn't care less for Dolby Vision HDR shit. It's just not, it's not that time. It's not that time for that. I don't really need to hear that right now unless I can get like proven results, but maybe I need to spend more time on that. But just like 5G, I don't have those results yet. So Android stud, Leo, what's going on? Did you know that Apple poop emojis taste like chocolate? That's what Apple thinks. That's what Google sometimes thinks too. Let's not be, you know, here. I'll say it this way. Can you imagine Google making the Pixel 5? They've made it. They finished it. They're like, yeah, here's our under display speaker. Yeah, here's a 765G chipset. What should we price this phone? What should we price this phone? $600? No. $700? $700. It's cheaper than the Pixel 4. Everyone's going to say how cheap the phone is. Google's also guilty of that shit too. But yes, Apple is definitely up there. So I see what you're saying. I do appreciate some of the testing he did, though. Some of the testing he did. Again, I don't know many of these YouTubers, but I appreciate that they've put the effort out, and I can at least react to it while I don't have the phone just yet. Okay. K-Dog 350. What's going on, K-Dog 350? If you want a cheaper phone, if you want a cheaper iPhone, get the 12. If you want the third camera, get the Pro. If you want the big phone, the big iPhone, get the Max. If you want a small iPhone, get the Mini. Well said. But that's also very self-explanatory. Anyway, K-Dog 350, welcome. Nice to see you. Fear of the Roof says, I got to hunt down your fasting channel. Fellow 18.6 faster. Nice. Assuming you're 18.6. I am not 18.6. I am 65.4 or sometimes 65.5. Yes, I fast for 2.5 days. Before that, I was fasting 90 with a 4 or a 5. So 3.5 days. Anyway, Team Verizon says, I'm good with the base 12 personally. I don't consider myself a pro. I am now trying to figure out what I need to buy. I mean, I'm picking up the 12 Pro on Friday. I'm guessing I probably won't be keeping it, but maybe. Chris says here it's because of millimeter wave that it's $700. The thing that kind of irks me as well is if they didn't put the millimeter wave shit in there, they could have either adjusted the price or they could have added something else into the iPhone, whether that be a bigger battery, whether that be 120 hertz. But since we're talking about battery, since we're talking about millimeter wave, let's talk about this real quick. This article here says the iPhone 12 and the 12 Pro get 20% shorter battery life when on 5G. But guys, 5G is the most important thing right now. Who cares if you get less battery life? Who cares about battery life? Since when did people buy phones for battery life? Since when was a battery important? That's why they got rid of replaceable batteries, because who cares if the battery shits itself after 2-3 years? Who cares? Nobody cares. Just buy a new phone. Nobody cares about battery. Who cares if it gets 20% shorter battery life when on 5G? At least you have 5G. At least you have 5G. Your dog die? At least you have 5G. What does it matter? 5G. It was already clear that the 12 and the 12 Pro would lose battery faster when hooked to 5G networks, but we didn't know how much. So pretty much this article is saying that they lose about 2 hours of battery life. The iPhone 12 and 12 Pro sit in the middle of Apple's new line of iPhones in terms of battery capacity. It would be more interesting to see how the smaller iPhone 12 mini and larger iPhone 12 Pro Max do. It's also worth noting that the iPhone 12 series would by default judge whether to use 5G or 4G depending on what you're doing. So my question, oh, look at this. Mario says, I don't know, but you look like a dick. At least I'm honest with how I feel about phones and tech. You don't have an avatar, so you're just behind your keyboard going like this. I got him. I showed him. It's all good, Mario. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Maybe you'll stick around. Maybe you'll take a second and learn about who I am before you decide to just, but you got your 2 seconds of fame there. Welcome. So the one thing that I was actually wondering about here is, are you able to turn off 5G on the iPhone 12? I'm guessing not. I'm guessing you wouldn't be able to, because Apple's not going to give you the option to turn something on or something off on their phones. Apple doesn't give you a lot of options to do much of anything. If I asked any of you, would you rather have 5G Well, so this is kind of a loaded question because people who might be buying an iPhone 12 might be buying it for long-term use for 3, 4, 5 years down the road, right? So maybe 5G will be a lot more applicable then. But if I was given the option, if somebody asked me, hey, would you rather have this iPhone with 5G, but you would lose 2 hours of battery life? Or would you rather have it without 5G and preserve battery life? I would pick the latter. I'd rather have better battery life overall, because right now battery is a higher priority for me than the top speeds of 5G of wherever it is. You know what I mean? Like, we all know that 5G it's really not a thing right now. Yeah, we've seen the videos of like other YouTubers showing us that they're standing right in front of a millimeter wave tower and they're getting like 1.4 gigs down or whatever, but no one is really using those speeds. I don't even know what you need to use those speeds for right now. I'm not saying that it's not good to have those speeds. I'm always all for having the technology, but they're sacrificing quality, battery for the sake of marketing when it's not ready yet. That's the shame for a lot of that. That's the shame in it. Mario, you're fine. If you're just being a dick, I can help you out there. I got you, buddy. You're good now, Mario. You're welcome. So anyway, I think that's where I'm at with the iPhone there. I'm like looking to see if there was another. No, that's all I got. I thought I had another iPhone 12 thing here, but I didn't. Anyway, that's about it. So the other thing I wanted to talk about that we haven't had a lot of time to talk about because we've been sitting here talking about the iPhone 12. I mean, I talked about the 4A and the squeakiness. Hopefully it's not an issue that's going to be, hopefully it's not going to be an issue that's going to worsen over time. If you missed it earlier, Ernie sent me a tweet about the 4A and like how it'll squeak, or his does if you hit a certain corner. Team Verizon said that he was getting it. Who else was saying it? Was William? I can't remember. Anyway, the other question that I wanted to pose, since we're talking about the 12 Pro, is what about the Pixel 4a and the 4a 5G? So why is this saying $600 here? The Pixel 4a is a $350 phone. The Pixel 4a 5G, a $500 phone. Which phone? Like, have any of you struggled with this right now? Are you debating between a 4a and a 4a 5G? I'm still trying to think of which is the better bang for the buck. I think a lot of people are leaning at the 4a just because it's $350, but the 4a 5G, still offers, I won't say a lot more, but it gives a bit more in terms of versatility. So let's just go over this real quick. So the 4a is a 5.8-inch phone. The 4a 5G is 6.2. So you'll get a bigger display, but you'll still get the same materials. Nothing really changes on the 4a 5G except for the fact that it's a bigger phone with a bigger battery. So you're getting a 3885 milliamp hour battery versus 3140. It is worth noting, though, at 3885 milliamp hours and 5G that there might be a bigger battery hit there as well. So something to think about. Otherwise, you do get a faster chipset on the 4a 5G, a 765. How much better? I can't really say how much better it is over the 4a. a higher GPU as well. So even the screen to body ratio is pretty similar. You get a little more screen to body ratio on the 4A 5G, but otherwise, pretty much all of this is similar. You're going to get a higher resolution on the 4A just because of the smaller display, and then the last thing you're going to get here is ultra wide. So you're going to get, so look at this though. So I was going to say you get the ultra wide lens, you get the ultra wide camera, so you can take wider shots, 107 degrees wider, not as wide as 120 on the iPhone 12, but this is showing OIS time-lapse video as well. But this isn't capable of doing what the Pixel 5 can do in terms of stabilization. Can it? Does it? So there's an easy answer for some people here between the Pixel 4a and the 4a 5G. And that's the fact that if you want a bigger phone, the 4a 5G already answers that question for you. You're already going to get your answer solved there because you know you want a bigger phone. The 4a 5G is just better, like up your alley, right? If you're looking for performance, even though it's just maybe a little bit better, the 4a 5G is also going to give you that bump as well as 5G. And then if you need the ultra wide, if you need that ultra wide sensor, lens, whatever you want to call it, like those are the things the 4a 5G is going to give you, but are all of those things worth an extra $150? Is that price point worth it? So I've been actually like debating this question myself. Is it worth the extra $150? But if they've actually added the better stabilization, then maybe it might be. I don't know if anyone's answered that question yet. If they've actually improved the video stabilization on the 4a 5G, is it the same as the Pixel 5? All right, let me get into chat here. Pratyush Sharma. Good night, guys, at least for me. Good night, Pratyush. Thanks for making it. As always, thank you, thank you. Okay, Alpha Monster. I haven't seen you in here before. I see a lot of picture for the Pixel display. Alpha Monster, I'm not exactly sure what you mean. I see a lot of pictures for displacing the Pixel display. I'm not sure. Gandex says, I feel like the 11 to the 12 will be similar to what the 5S was to the 6. Big deal improvements for some users. Screen size, 5G, but the cameras and performance won't be much better. It really doesn't look like it, at least from what I'm seeing right now. Robert says, RAM management on the 5 looks great. That's one reason I'm looking at the 5 over the others. That's a fair point. That's definitely a fair point. Zane, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. Hey, Jerome, I was debating for a while between the 4A and the 5, but went with the 5 because the price here in Canada is priced well, plus was worried about the processor on the 4A slowing down fast. And that's a fair enough point. I mean, my 4A has hiccups here and there, and it's weird because now that I've been using it as my daily for quite some time, there are times I get a little annoyed with like the hiccup that's happening. Yeah, so Chris says, I don't like big phones. No thanks. And that's my issue too. That's kind of why like I'm leaning towards the Pixel 5 because I like that smaller form factor, except the Pixel 5 has a few caveats as well. That's kind of the thing that's been bothering me too. Falling Wicked says, if you're a Pixel Google fan, no phone is worth buying to upgrade the 4XL. Giant disappointment. Okay. There's so many different thoughts here. I think again, it just depends on a lot of what your priorities are when it comes to phones. Paul says, what time you eat during Jerome time? What team or what? What am I? I'm confused. YouTube user, what's going on? For me, it's between the 4A and the 5. 4A just for the size. Yeah. So you're the same way. For a lot of people, you're just looking for that smaller form factor. That's kind of like how it is for me. Cross White 17, what's going on? Jerome, don't forget the 12 Pro Max has a completely different camera to the 12 Pro. I know. So this is the thing. It's just during that, and like I totally get it. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Cross White. The thing about this is, after watching the event of the 12 and the 12 Pro, it just made it seem like that the 12 and the 12 Pro were just, I thought it was going to be so much better. So like now my expectations for the 12 Pro Max are not as high as they initially were. And I think that's fair for at least me, because I don't want to get too excited if I get that 12 Pro Max and it isn't living up to my expectations. Hope that makes sense. Crosswhite 17, welcome to the stream. The Keyman 2, what's going on? 4A 5G for the ultra wide camera. There you go. Dishu, am I saying that right? Dishu, I don't know what that last name is, but Dishu. Good night. Good night, Dishu. Welcome, welcome. Unless you left already. Oh, you said hi. There you go. Okay. Where am I at here? You guys with the comments. It happens. I get it. Like, people want to, like, you know, they want to troll around, and that's fine. I get it. I get it. It's not new. Jennifer Cho, hi. I did a phone size comparison of my Moto G5S Plus to the 4A 5G on Phone Arena, and it's actually physically the similar size. So is that what you're getting? Other than resolution, the slide down pixel feature for the settings would make up for a larger size. There you go. Royal Rajputana says the Google 4 is the best phone. The Pixel 4? Royal, I'm not sure about that. I would have to disagree with you there. But I am enjoying, like, is this what you're talking about? This Pixel 4? The best phone? I'd rather use my 4A, to be honest with you. But hi, Royal. Welcome. Welcome. Starting says the Pixel 4a 5G is the magical unicorn of the lineup. Other reviewers have said the cameras on it are the same as the 5. So that's what I'm waiting for. I would love to test that out and confirm that as well, for sure. Bog 1E. Hi, Bog 1E. I'm on the fence between the 5 versus the 12 Pro or maybe the Pro Max. You sound like me. That's kind of how I am. Apples to oranges, I know, but I'm coming from a Pixel 2 XL. No, I'm in the same boat. That's why every year I carry both. I always carry the newest Pixel phones that are out. That's why Will, who's in here as well, Will and I, we talk about this all the time. Will one day is like, I'm getting the iPhone. Then the next day, I'm getting the Pixel. iPhone, Pixel. I feel your pain. I feel your pain. Big House Productions, what's going on? I have a question about the 2 and the 2 XL. I know there won't be any OS upgrades, but what about security patches in the future? I think that's all they do, though. I think it's 3 years of updates and patches. I don't think they continue patches after that. Hello from Israel. Hello. I can't pronounce that name, but hello. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Monica Rimmer was. What did I say? Something that had that was to add in there? Monica, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Mad Max, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Miguel Aviles Jenkins, still debating between the Pixel 5 and the iPhone 12 standard. So it does look like there are people who are debating between an iPhone and a Pixel, which is interesting because I feel like a good amount of us in here either are also debating similar things or we have both. Or we're just shitting on both and deciding which is the better, shittier phone that isn't too much money. Apostle says, I have the Pixel 4 and the iPhone 11 Pro, iPhone work phone, Pixel personal. There you go. Angel, or Angel, I'm guessing Angel. Gabrielle Martinez, hello, Mexico. Hello, welcome. Okay, guys, we are an hour and 17 minutes into this. It is way past TNT Joe-Fi time. So with that being said, I am going to close it out for the day. If you guys haven't had a chance, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. If you are new to the channel, I do stream weekdays at 2 p.m. Central. So please do yourselves a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification to notify you when I do start streaming. Thank you for all the super chats today. Thank you to all my YouTube members. Thank you to all my patrons. Nice to have you as always. We'll do it all over again tomorrow. TNT Joe-Fi, I'm about to get some coffee. I need the caffeine. It was great talking with all of you. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, guys. Bye.